Hi everyone, thanks for coming back for part 2. In my last video, I was just going over this table over here, which reads Betroth, Yeshu, Pentecost, Satan, Seed, Beast, DNA, and there's also other terms that I had put in that go with this table, and I had pulled this table up back in April around the time of Easter, and so all these terms I had put in back then, and I haven't tried to search for any new terms since I did the table, but I was just reminded of it when I was reading about the Feast of Tu B'Av, that just so happens to mention that it was during the restoration of the tribe of Benjamin that this occurred on Tu B'Av. And this is recorded in Judges 21, verses 16 through 24. And as I was reading that, I was reminded that I had done a table a while back that was concerning the restoration of the tribe of Benjamin, and I knew it had something to do with marriage. I couldn't remember what words I used, and it took me a while to find this table that I had done back around the time of Easter. And the terms that I had used for that table were the terms betroth and Yeshu, and amazingly enough, it comes up in Judges 21 where it records the restoration of the tribe of Benjamin on the Feast of Tu B'Av. And so I just thought that was really amazing, and I'm just going to continue going over the terms in this table, and then I'll read this matrix which comes up just before the part that talks about the Feast of Tu B'Av. But I had already gone over the word betroth that's coming up here in the reddish, pinkish red color, the letters B, E, T, R, O, T, H, and I had already gone over the term Pentecost, which is coming up in the lavender and in the bluish lavender over here, and Yeshu is coming up in the pink with the letters Y, E, S, H, U. And in this table I had also put in the word Satan, which is coming up here in the blue at an angle. It's coming up this way with the letters S, A, T, A, N. I had also put in seed, which is meshed in with the word Satan. It's in the green, the letters S, E, E, D, and then you have DNA meshed in with Satan seed, coming up in the dark green, the letters D, N, A, and then I had also put in the word beast, and that comes up in the yellow with the letters B, E, A, S, T. And I'm going to go ahead and read this matrix, and then I'll go over the rest of the terms later. And like I said, this is coming up in Judges 21, verses 3 through 12. And it reads, "And they said, O Jehovah, the God of Israel, why has this come to pass in Israel, that there should be today one tribe lacking in Israel? And it came to pass on the morrow that the people rose early and built there an altar and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. And the children of Israel said, Who is there among all the tribes of Israel that came not up in the assembly unto Jehovah? For they had made a great oath concerning him that came not up unto Jehovah to Mizpah, saying, He shall surely be put to death. And the children of Israel repented them for Benjamin their brother, and said, There is one tribe cut off from Israel this day. How shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing we have sworn by Jehovah that we will not give them of our daughters to wives? And they said, what one is there of the tribes of Israel that came not up unto Jehovah to Mizpah? And behold, there came none to the camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly. For when the people were numbered, behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, Go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with the women and the little ones. And this is the thing that ye shall do: ye shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that hath lain by man. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known man by lying with him, and they brought them unto the camp to Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. And in the article it had said that Shiloh used to be the name for Jerusalem. And so you see this matrix is talking about young virgins. It's obviously talking about marriage, taking wives for the tribe of Benjamin. And it just so happens that the terms betroth and Yeshu come up in ELS form in this table. And right in the middle of the word betroth, you have the word wed, which is short for wedding. Now, I just want to say at this point, I don't know if Jesus is going to come back on Tu B'Av, but I do think it's really amazing how all of this comes up. And as always, it just proves that God knows everything in advance. He knows every possible rapture date, everything that represents the rapture in the Bible. He's encoded in ELS form, all the terms that represent the rapture, all in the right place. This is coming up in the book of Judges, where it just so happens to be talking about Tu B'Av. So it's just amazing how all of this comes up. It doesn't necessarily mean that the rapture is going to happen on this day, but it's definitely a sign, and it's proof that God knows everything and that He's encoded everything in advance in the Bible. And so I'm just going to go on and go over some of the other terms that I had put in. In this one, I had put in new moon. And mind you, I did this back on Easter, during the time of Easter. And it just so happens that according to the Creator's calendar, the new moon is on August 18th, which is Tu B'Av. And according to the Creator's calendar, the new moon is the full moon. And so I had put in new moon, and that came up. And you can see that coming up here. You can see the word new in the blue with the letters N, E, W. And then you see the word moon in the green with the letters M, O, O, N. I had also put in the term wise, and you can see the term virgins down here at the bottom. So it's coming up in the table, and you see that it looks like it got cut off here in the matrix. So that's probably why it didn't come up in ELS. I'm not sure if I tried it or not, but you can see that it's in the text, that it has the word virgins in the text. And you see the word wise, and it's coming up in ELS form here in the yellow with the letters W, I, S, E. And then I had also put an oil lamp, and you see the word oil coming up in the green with the letters O, I, L. And you see the word lamp coming up in the fuchsia with the letters L, A, M, P. And right over here in the text, you see the term, the assembly unto Jehovah, which of course that's what the rapture would be. It would be the assembly unto Jehovah. And Jesus is Jehovah because Jesus is God, so it would be the assembly unto Jesus or Jehovah. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next table, and this one I had put May 14, and of course I did this a long time ago, but you can see that one came up in the table in ELS form, but I'm not going to pull that up. I'm just going to go on to the next one. And this one I put Israel, war, Adam, flee, death, mass, as in mass, death. And you see Israel over here in the plain text in the bluish purple, and war is coming up right next to Israel in ELS form in the blue with the letters W-A-R. You see the word Adam over here in the green with the letters A-T-O-M, and it's meshed in with the word flee in the yellow, the letters F-L-E-E, and then you see death going right through that in the dark green. It's touching against the word war, and it's almost crossing through Adam and flee, but you see the word death here in the dark green with the letters D-E-A-T-H, and you see the word mass over here in the fuchsia with the letters M-A-S-S. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. In this one I added the term figs ripe, and that came up. You see the term figs coming up right through the word betrothed with the letters F-I-G-S. And you see the word ripe coming up here in the blue, the letters R-I-P-E. I had also put in star, and we did Satan earlier. But you see star coming up over here in the green, the letters S-T-A-R, and it's meshed in with the word Satan, which is coming up in the yellow this time with the letters S-A-T-A-N. And you see the word cast coming up in the dark green with the letters C-A-S. It looks like it's sharing the T in Satan. Of course, Satan is going to be cast out of Eden, and you see Eden over here in the fuchsia with the letters E-D-E-N. Okay, and that's all the terms that I had tried to put in. But like I said before, I don't know if Jesus is going to come back on Tu B'Av. I'm not sure if that's going to be the date of the rapture. I just believe that we need to be on high alert on the feast of Tu B'Av. As always, we need to always be on high alert for the Lord's return. But I do believe it does represent the second coming of Christ, if nothing else. And I do believe it's a sign and a milepost for the Lord's second coming. And it looks like I'm about out of time, so I just want to thank you all for watching the video, and I just want to encourage you to keep looking up, for our redemption is drawing nigh. Thank you, and God bless you.